Hi, everybody. Happy Cancer full moon. Happy first full moon of the new year. I hope you had a really lovely holiday season and are starting off the new year exactly the way that you want to start off the new year. None of this January 1st change everything you hate about yourself energy, that's unfortunately come and run rampant. But more so actually listening to where you're at, what you're feeling, what you're craving. And with two personal planets, which mean they have the biggest impact in our personal lives, which are Mercury and Mars, they're both retrograde right now, meaning that there is just this energy of slowing down, of going inward, of reflecting, of assessing where we've come from and where we want to go, but without the sort of Capricorn, like do it now, and more this Cancer energy of what do we need to do first before we can go forward? How can we nurture ourselves? How can we, ride these waves of emotion that might be coming up to really support us and even soothe us? With Cancer, one of the many different things about Cancer is this full moon can come with a lot of emotions. It's also T-squaring Chiron, which is our wounded healer. So a lot of, wounding can sort of appear from nowhere, or we might feel really sensitive or really vulnerable, feeling exposed in a way, and just kind of having to see these waves, just like the tides or the phases of the moon, which is the luminary that Cancer rules, just how quickly they can come and go, and not getting stuck in them. And I can say from a personal experience today alone, I have cried from receiving really beautiful words from somebody, and I've cried because I couldn't find a lid for my Tupperware container. There was like just enough to just send me over the edge. So meaning that, like, just ride it, in a way, which is easier said than done when you're in that real deep vulnerability, sensitivity. But that there's a lot coming up is what I'm really trying to say. And instead of putting these pressures of, of these New Year resolutions, which are a great thing to have, really actually allow this space, allow these next couple of weeks to really go inward, go under, go where you don't necessarily sometimes want to go. And, I listened to this amazing podcast from On the Soul's Terms, which I'll send a link to. And he talked a lot about, he was talking about the Cancer, Chris Skidmore, Cancer Capricorn axis, and how Cancer is all about progression and going forward, and Cancer, the balance to that is regression. And I've thought a lot about this word over the last couple of days, and how initially we might see it as something negative to regress. It's considered an insult sometimes. But really, for me, it's almost like you have to go back, which is what regression is. It's just to go back, or to walk back even, before we can go forward. Look at where we've come from to see where we want to go. Look to where we've come from to see how it's been playing out in our life, where we may or may not want to change these certain aspects. So, I think that there, especially around this time of year, there's not enough attention paid to where did we come from? What was this last year, and giving ourselves like a high five for wherever we're at, whether we're on the highs or the lows or anywhere in between, really honoring the journey and remembering that where we come from in our past really allows us to sort of envision the future. So be so tender, be so tender. I wrote in my moon musing, which you can find in the link, that, cry if you want to, be crabby if you want to, curl up under a bed of stuffed animals, which is secretly what I want to do, and just really allow yourself to feel that tenderness, feel that nurturance, feel that vulnerability, which actually is our greatest strength if we really allow ourselves to sit in that space and hold ourselves. So sending so much love over this Cancer full moon, and that's all for now. Mwah.